Welcome back. Glad you were able to do our first videos. Hope you enjoy them and learn something. This one's entitled Political Parties Good and Bad in Common Sense Examples. We all know that no party is perfect. Many people act like the party's perfect. They would worship it to the day they die, but that's just not reality. So let's deal with some of the reality of the bad of both parties and the good so that we can be objective. Not subjective where we're just biased to our party, but we actually can see the light in the forest for the trees. How about liberalism? The positives, they are against animal abuse and overpopulation, where people can't get, the resources don't match the number of people that are birthed into the world. They're for workers' rights and decent pay, and they're for helping the poor and those who struggle in society. These are good things. You cannot deny those are evil. You can't demonize them as evil for liking those things and valuing those, having those values. Those are good, legitimate values for liberalism. How about their negatives? Overtaxation and regulation, stifling businesses, and big government with high taxes, lots of waste, abuse, and bureaucracy. Most people would agree, common sense again, that those are bad things. How about the opposite extreme? Conservatives, positives. They are for business success. You're not going to have a job if there are no businesses. Businesses need to succeed, and if any business is going to succeed, I want it to be an American business that hires Americans. So therefore, business success, a strong economy, and strong national defense, law and order. You can't have a society run by chaos or disorder or violence, and smaller government. I'm for all these things. These make sense. We are near Greece's bankruptcy, teeter-tottering edge. Financially, with 19 trillion or more in debt. That's just irrational. No family I know expects to get richer by maxing out their credit cards, then getting another one and maxing it out and saying they're getting richer. You may feel richer, but look at your debt. Look at your bills at the end of the month that someday have to be paid, usually to China in our case as a nation. How about the negatives of conservatism? Essentially, if you boil the theory down, it's every man for himself. We really just want, conservatives just want government to have police, military, and a few teachers. And maybe some politicians if you have to have them. But anything else that might help other people, welfare, unemployment, workers' rights laws, minimum wage, estate tax, that taxes the rich and society benefits as a whole from that, they're usually against those kind of things. That's negative. How about moderates? They bridge the gap between the extremes, and they seek to get good legislation passed. They realize we have to actually pass something and do something that we're paid to do here. We can't just argue extremes all day, polarizing and dividing the nation and never doing anything. At the negative side, however, they can be very wishy-washy. They can have bad compromises. They can lack a core belief system in anything except let's just get something done. Or they can be career opportunists that just go with whatever position has a stronger number of votes so that they look like they're winners voting for the legislation that got passed. Most importantly, let's deal with common sense examples. Our website, AmericanAnswers.org, is going to it's already done, but it's not online. I'm withholding it till after the presidential election for a strategic reason. I don't want to give away my ideas for no reason to people that are running. But it will list probably in the hundreds of policies, extremes on any issue. And you'll realize the right way to do things is usually found in the middle. It's usually not in the polar extremes. So let me give you a few examples. On education, on the extreme left, you could have dumbing down of the smarter kids to make things equal. You could never fire bad teachers or bad administrators because they have tenure or we have a union that lobbies for that. You could always add more money and spend more money for education when America already spends more than most nations and we don't get the bang for our buck that other nations do. That's an extreme to the left. How about an extreme to the right? Let the less intelligent students fail in the poor schools, especially in the inner cities. Leave them behind. They couldn't keep up. They weren't motivated. They couldn't learn, or they had challenges, maybe cultural, maybe historical. Not our problem. We provided the money for the teachers. They couldn't make the A's like the other students. Let them drop through the cracks. That is not an acceptable extreme either. How about on energy? Never drill anywhere in America that's pretty. We can never imagine some technology that can make it safe and not spill oil. No, let's just keep everything in America, especially offshore, all over the coasts of America. Let's import oil, make it more costly and make us more entrenched in the Middle East where all the wars seem to usually happen. Let's get more involved with that region of the world and their hatred of America often by importing oil when we have it all around us, as well as fracking and other things we have available to us and new energy sources. Let's not do that if there's one chance that one snail darter might die. These are extremes, people. But at this other side is the other extreme. Drill, baby, drill. You've heard a vice presidential candidate last time from Alaska talk about that. Drill, baby, drill. As if I could pollute my city. Los Angeles's pollution cloud is okay because business is making money, and that's all that matters. These are extremes, trying to prove the point that the right answers are usually in between extremes. How about health care? Let the rich pay for all the health care of everybody else, even though they're not related to them, and require nothing of them. Just give it out as a freebie. Give them handouts. They don't have to pay back anything to society as a result. Just give it to them because they're born. That incentivizes them having more people enter the world to get all these freebies at the rich's expense, the taxpayers and the rich, and explain to me why they owe that to them. They don't. That's an extreme on the left. How about on the right? Let people prematurely die or starve to death if they just can't hack it in America. It's a competitive dog-eat-dog society. If you don't make enough money to go to the dentist and you suffer a tooth decay, tough on you. That is a very uncaring, un-American attitude and an extreme on that issue. A couple more and I'll be done. Immigration. Let anybody and everybody into America. America is the Statue of Liberty. Just come to our shores. We'll help you, help the downtrodden, the poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. We'll take everybody. Criminals, terrorists, poor people that want to be on welfare, anybody. Our economy cannot handle that. Your job cannot handle that. You can't keep your job. You can't keep a decent wage when the market demand is all supply of labor, no demand for the labor, because the jobs have been outsourced and over-immigration has brought too many in and globalization has shipped too many jobs out. We can't handle everybody coming to America, and it's not our job. It's our country. We decide who comes in. That's an extreme on the left end. How about on the right? Build a wall. How about arming a drone? I heard that in last year. A presidential candidate suggested drones that are armed on the border of Mexico. So we're going to kill people for trying to seek a better life. Don't think that's an American value. Finally, national defense. Actually, I have several more, but I won't do them here. They're all going to be on our website. National defense, we're going to appease our enemies. If we're just nice to the terrorists, they will understand and quit terrorizing other places in the world. The military is evil because they kill people. And they need to have their funding cut. Well, they kill people that want to kill us. I'd rather them kill somebody that wants to kill us before we get killed. That's common sense. On the other extreme is the hawk side, extreme hawk side. Anytime somebody ticks you off, just bomb them. Strike whenever you want. Spend as much money as you want. No budget constraints. And engage wars anytime there's any conflict. Don't worry about diplomacy, economic sanctions, anything else that my allies joining together to band against or using the UN on occasion. Let's just bomb, baby, bomb. I'm trying to tell you through this video that there are extremes out there that you hear in the media from both sides. Often it's rhetoric, just trying to stir up their base to vote for them. It's not ever productive toward getting things done in America, which is what the standard should be for those we pay very well to supposedly lead by example and by action in D.C. I hope you will consider our other videos that tell you how that can be fixed instantly in 2020, at the latest 2024, if it takes that long for you all to understand these concepts through the various things we produce for you. Bottom line is just vote for politicians that are for common sense, and they are not loyal to party more than those principles. Thank you for listening. Hope you learned something, and see you next time.